And now it's time for Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. For the next 2 hours, join Pete Gray, rock cod Rick Maxa, and this week's special expert guest for fishing information, new techniques to catch more fish, and the most current scoop on what's happening in the water. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Yamaha Outboards, official motor sponsor of Let's Talk Hookup. Royal Polaris, the world's finest long-range sports fisher. By Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup, and Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. Get ready for the fastest 2 hours on radio with the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray and rock god Rick Maxa.
Good morning, anglers, and welcome to Let's Talk Hookup. Man, do we have a great show coming for you today. Pete Gray is up on our Whalers Cove trip, having a great time in Angoon, Alaska. And, man, are we going to have a great one for you today. Corey and I are in the studio. We're going to be talking fishing with you, having a great time. And we have a fantastic guest. Chef Yanni from the Fisherman's Belly is going to be here. We're talking fishing, talking grilling, talking fish preparations. It's going to be a great time. You stay tuned. You're listening to Southern California's sport fishing voice. This is Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090.
It's summertime in San Diego, and that means a couple of things. The getting is good for yellowfin and bluefin off our Southern California coast. A road trip to bag some high Sierra trout sounds like a great weekend. And the Ford Summer Sales event has started at your San Diego County Ford dealers. In fishing, we love to get away and we love to have the best gear. And right now is the perfect time to upgrade to a brand new Ford truck or SUV. The absolute best piece of fishing gear you could have. During the summer sales event, your San Diego County Ford dealers have great offers on a wide variety of trucks and SUVs, including great financing and cashback offers on some of the most popular models. They've got deals across their lineup to get you into the perfect size SUV for you. And they've got deals on F-150, Motor Trend's 2018 Truck of the Year. Great payload and towing capabilities make it the perfect piece of tackle. Learn more at buyfordnow.com or visit your San Diego County Ford dealers today. They'll be glad to hook you up.
For local and long-range fishing, the Islander out of Fisherman's Landing is a favorite among seasoned or novice anglers. But Islander Charters is much more than great fishing. They also do incredible Guadalupe white shark diving trips as well as a schedule of kayak mothership trips. You need to check out the Islander on their website, islander-charters.com. The Islander is San Diego's leader when it comes to 2 to 5 day fishing. Watch the website for trips and adventures available. Experience the Islander difference. Visit islander-charters.com for all the details.
You've heard all about it. You know the angler's catching fish habit, so what's holding you back? It's a fact. FishDope.com really does help you catch more fish and burn less fuel. FishDope.com is the only fish finding service with a spotter plane along with a crew of top anglers on the water almost every day that report actual locations and catches. You can get daily catch reports from Point Conception to San Martin Island, 365 days a year. FishDope.com is for everyone, whether you have your own boat, fish on your friend's boat, or a sport boat. FishDope.com has online planning tools, moon phase, tides, hot bite icons, and more. So bottom line is, if you don't have FishDope.com, well, you're probably missing a lot of bites. Membership costs less than $50 of gas, and that's for the entire year. That's right, 1 year. What a bargain. Plus, use the special code to save $20 on a new FishDope.com membership. Check it out today. FishDope.com. Catch more fish, burn less fuel.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090. Having a great time here with Yanni, Corey in the studio this morning, and certainly a fun show this weekend. As we said, Pete Gray is going to be out of the studio this morning up at our great trip at Whalers Cove. Going to be a great time up there. And Yanni, welcome into the studio, buddy.
Good morning. So excited to be here. Oh, my God.
Well, we're certainly excited to have you here. And this is a fun time of year for Fisherman's Belly because this is the time of year that everybody's out fishing and fresh fish and cooking, and every week we're always looking forward to our little Anglers Table section on the website and hearing about what's going on with Fisherman's Belly and all the great stuff you're doing. And this is the time of year that we get to enjoy it all. I can only imagine how busy you've been in the kitchen preparing and chefing it up and doing all the things you do at Fisherman's Belly.
Absolutely. And what's really cool is I keep getting tons and tons of questions about all kinds of fish: sargos, sheep's head, small yellowtail, just a whole wide gamut. And now with the waters warming up along the coast, I can't wait to see what kind of fish we're going to be catching next.
I love it. Give us kind of the rundown of Fisherman's Belly. the website, which I love. You do such a very unique job of fish and fish preparation, and it's not fair to say it like this, but I'm going to say it because this is how I feel about it. It's dumbed down for somebody like myself, who's not a culinary expert like yourself, to be able to prepare these rad recipes. And I am so guilty with I love cooking fish, I love grilling, but I am so guilty of brushing a little olive oil, throwing some salt and pepper, put it on the grill, calling it a day. And you come up with all these super cool things that are just as easy as that, but you get to prepare these rad fish presentations for your friends and family.
You know, and I'm lucky. You know, I was born and raised in a Greek household, and my mom was a sous chef in the King's Palace in the 50s. And wow. I had no idea, but I just ate stunningly beautiful, tasty food my entire life. And it wasn't until later in my life that I found out that my mom was actually a sous chef. I just thought she was a good cook. But that opened up the whole world, that whole culinary world for me, and it was a starting point. It was a springboard. So living in Southern California, you know, I got, just like everybody else, I got exposed to Asian cooking. I got exposed to Mexican cooking, to Latin cooking. I got exposed to American cooking. I call it California cuisine. You know, we all love to go to Asian restaurants. We all love to go to Mexican restaurants. So then I started getting into, and being a Greek, I mean, we ate fish from day one.
Yeah, right.
So I started looking at all the fish recipes that all these other cultures would make, and I started getting interested in that and enjoying those. And, you know, that's how I built up my culinary experience. And then, you know, we'd be on the water, we'd be fishing, and as soon as we'd catch a fish, the next topic of conversation was, well, now what are we going to do? How are we going to cook? Yeah. So a lot of us would go to YouTube and would try to find a recipe for our yellowtail, try to find a recipe for our whitefish or our scorpion fish, and there wasn't much there. And so I saw a little opportunity. I said, you know, I can come up with some recipes for the fish that we catch here in SoCal. And that's how Fisherman's Belly got started. It's
such a cool website, and you've done such a good job because it's for us. I mean, you certainly tackle every type of fish out there, and obviously things can be substituted. But if you're a person from Southern California, it lists by species all of the things that we catch, all the things that are, you know, if you go half-day fishing, there's 20 different recipes on there for all the things that you'd catch on the half-day boat.
Oh, absolutely. And the beautiful thing is the fish that we catch, you can't find it in the stores, period.
Right.
There is just no way. Or the restaurants.
Well, we're very fortunate. I mean, where we live, everything from octopus and lobster to, I mean, even barracuda.
Yeah,
I mean, really,
totally.
Barracuda and bonito really don't get a fair shake in our culinary. Yeah, I mean, people look at them as
slime sticks.
Yes.
Yeah. Trash fish.
Yeah. But you can bring it to life.
Oh man. You know, going on the sports boats, and I'm sure there's other people that have experienced this, just like myself, watching the deckhands fillet a beautiful 5-pound fish, throw away the carcass, and end up with a 1-pound fillet. It's just like, wait a minute, wait. You threw the best part of the fish overboard. Yeah, you know, there's no Asian, there's no European, there's no Middle Easterner that would ever do that because there's so many wonderful meals, simple, easy meals that can be made. You got to remember that fish feeds the majority of the world, okay? And the majority of the world are poor people. So they love tasty food, but they just don't have the means and they don't have all the access to the equipment. But somehow or other, they come up with the most beautiful dishes and the simplest dishes that exemplify and elevate all those vegetables, the fruits, and the fish, the seafood. So that's what I'm really trying to tap into, and that's what I want to share and help teach the fishermen here in SoCal, is that you can take this full circle. You can have a great day on the water, have a great day with your buddies, catch the biggest fish of your life or even the smallest fish of your life, but come home and keep that circle going.
Totally.
Share it with your family, share it with your friends, learn to be a better cook, learn from your mistakes, and keep coming up with these great, great dishes so that eventually you won't have to run to the Asian market or the Asian restaurant or the Mexican restaurant. You can create that food at home and enjoy it and even do a better job than those guys do at the restaurant.
I love it. The cool thing that I love about Fisherman's Belly, too, is it's more than just here's a recipe. You need this, or that, good luck. You, with all of your recipes that you feature, at least certainly the ones you feature on our Let's Talk Hookup website, are you'll create a YouTube video based on the whole thing, and you break it down, and you watch Yanni cook, and you see how easy most of these things really are. If you just showed me a finished product of 90% of what you put out, I would instantly just go like, oh, that's beyond my ability, and I'm not gonna be able to bust that out. But in a quick, fun, lighthearted, very easy to watch YouTube video, you show everything from start to finish, preparation and how you fillet and how you break everything down and all the ingredients and where you get them, and you put a lot of work into all your videos, and it's a lot more than just a website of this is, these are the types of things you need to cook fish. I mean, you do start to finish, and your videos are fantastic.
Yeah, for me, going through a cookbook or a recipe book and paging through, a couple of photographs and a bunch of written text, it's just really lacking. You've got to be a very proficient cook to be able to read those recipes and say to yourself, oh, I see what this person's doing, or they substituted this for that, and I know what's going on. But my approach is based on my friends and my close circle of friends who, are great fishermen, God bless them. Most of them are better fishermen than me. But when it comes to cooking and filleting a fish and preparing and knowing all the various things they can do with their fish, they are just beyond lost. So I don't mind starting from zero and talking through the whole process and the reason I use this and the reason that we do this, and we're cooking a Mexican meal, so we're going to just use Mexican spices, or we're cooking a French meal, we're going to use French spices, I want to try and keep everything true so that you do have the full experience of what people all over the world experience every day. Beautiful fish and seafood dishes. That's awesome. Simply made. And beyond that, I really want to teach fishermen how to be good cooks, because what they learn from myself and cooking these various meals can be transposed to steaks. It could be transposed to their everyday life and their everyday cooking. And the one thing they have to be aware of is if they become a good cook at home, all of a sudden everyone will be looking at them at the end of the day for instead of coming home and going, what's for dinner, honey? It's like, well, what are you cooking, honey?
Yeah.
Well, you're so right, though, Yanni. I'm sorry, Rick.
No, yeah.
But the preparing fish and cooking fish, it's the same as chicken and beef, and it really is. It breaks down to protein, basically, and you're so right, because you make it so easy for fishermen like Rick and myself. I mean, we love to fish and do it, but the cooking end might not be the most spectacular end of our profession, right? But
I'm lame. I'm willing to admit it, but Yanni takes me to the next level. And
and that's why barracuda. We were talking about barracuda and bonita. Why they get a bad rap. Fishermen don't understand that meat that fish, as soon as it's caught, it's got to be put in ice or in a burlap bag that's constantly being wetted so that the evaporation keeps that fish cool. Because as soon as that meat gets to room temperature, it goes to mush. Yeah. So when you come home and you try to cook it and everyone looks at you and goes, this is horrible, you first of all, you're labeled as a bad cook. And second of all, you're never going to fish for barracuda and bonita again, because you're going to remember, oh, that's trash.
Well, you say this, Yanni, but we have progressed so far in the last 12, 15 years. And, Rick, I mean, you're a testament to the whole thing with RSWs, and you can be on the San Diego or the Liberty and catch a barracuda or a bonito or a yellowtail at the islands, and they fillet it out 12 hours later, and it is the most beautiful piece of fish compared to 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Truly.
And you guys both nailed it. That's the thing. The reason nobody liked a barracuda, like you said, Yanni, is they were, more often than not, you were behind the eight ball from the get-go. That fish just wasn't kept right, and now with
bled.
Yeah, now with RSW, that fish is in cold refrigerated seawater, and the temperature's down, and now they're firm, and same thing. You fillet out a bonito that was properly taken care of. It's like, well, that's not what this is supposed to look like. I thought this meat was purple and mushy, and and appropriately done. It's not.
Absolutely, and thank God that we can keep our fish nice and cold on those boats, so that when the fisherman goes home, he's got a fresh piece of meat that he can do something with. And if he goes to Fisherman's Belly or any other source and he looks for some good recipes, he can tackle it and know that his fish is going to live up to whatever he's going to do.
Up to Yanni standards.
Yeah. The other thing that I really like that you do is you've had some for me, more on like the exotic, cool ingredient side, especially some of your Mediterranean cooking and things that you do. But you also very clearly show, like, this is where you get that. Don't be afraid of gathering this spice and this particular vegetable. I got them from this store, and they cost this much, and go to the Hispanic section of your grocery store, and you're going to find this, and that. And, you introduce people like me to things that we maybe wouldn't know about, but that from the outside looking in, it might be a difficult thing or an exotic ingredient, but it's not. They're super easy to find. They're just not, they're not Lowry seasoning salt. It's not the thing that you know of all the time. And
right.
It totally takes everything up a notch.
We've got our Asian markets, Ranch 99, and there's just a ton more. And then we've got our Mexican markets. They're all over the place. And it's funny, when I go into an Asian market, I very rarely find someone who can speak English. So, that's a hurdle. However, if you spend enough time there, you can figure it out. And the Mexican markets, I still walk around Mexican markets with produce that's fresh and dirt cheap and exotic fruits. And I'm looking around, and there's no Americans. There's no white people. It's all Mexican people. And I'm thinking to myself, one of these days, people are going to wake up and come to markets like this.
Yeah.
For my American dishes, I love to go to Smart and Final. It's close by, and I usually get lots of fresh produce and the ingredients I want. So we've got and then when it comes to Mediterranean foods, believe it or not, if you're Middle Eastern or if you're from the Mediterranean, you have discovered here in SoCal a handful of large markets. I'm talking Vaughn's and Ralph's size, that have all the fruits and vegetables from the Mediterranean, all the spices from the Mediterranean. Cool. And once again, when I'm walking around in those markets, there's no white Americans walking around there because they just don't know. Mm-hmm. So I talk about that kind of stuff in my recipes. I don't want to use ingredients, spices, and sauces and strange stuff that you have to order from the Internet that comes from Argentina or it comes from some exotic island. I'd much rather drive for a half a mile, go to one of these markets, get what I want, come home, and tell everybody, look, find these markets. You'll get everything you need to make this dish. It's not hard to do.
Yanni, what are a couple spices from the Mediterranean? I mean, spice or fruit like you're mentioning.
Okay, here's a huge one, saffron.
Really? Okay.
Oh, my God. Saffron is, when I paddle around San Diego Bay, especially around the bait docks, I smell saffron in the air. When I handle a lobster shell, I can smell saffron in that lobster shell. Saffron is such a perfectly matched and paired spice to seafood. It's absolutely insane. And keep in mind, saffron is the most expensive spice in the world. It's because as saffron threads, the little hairs, there's 3 threads per flower, and they're all manually picked. So that's why it's a terribly expensive spice. But Trader Joe's has got a little jar of saffron for $7, and that jar will last you either for one meal or a couple of meals.
Trader Joe's, you said?
Trader Joe's has got saffron from Spain. And saffron is used from Spain all the way through Iran, all the way through the Mediterranean. It's just a wonderful spice to be used with fish.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. Well, Yanni, there's so much cool stuff to talk about, so much to go over. I'm as excited picking your brain and talk about all this stuff. We haven't even got into some of the major things we're doing, grilling and things like that happen this time of year. I'm more excited for hearing the direction that our callers take us. Let's Talk Hookup. We are a show about the callers. Corey and I just hang out and we get to talk to you and talk to Maria and have the good times. But our callers take the show, and I'm so excited to see which direction, because all of us have our own questions, whether it be about care of fish and preparation, or I got a barracuda and I want to know how to make it good. It's going to be a great show, and there's so much cool stuff to talk about today, and we want to hear from you. If you want to be a part of Let's Talk Hookup this morning, there's 2 ways you can reach us. First is with our local line. That's 858 area code 457-1090. Again, 858-457-1090. That's our local number. Or you can reach us toll-free. Our toll-free line is 877-792-1090. One more time, 877-792-1090. Not only are we taking all your phone calls, not only are we having great times talking to Yanni, finding out what's going on in the kitchen, as well as the preparation, we are also giving away a really, really good prize. And what a perfect opportunity to have somebody that's so I'm sure, so good with a knife in their hands in the kitchen as Yanni. We're giving away a brand new Anza fillet knife to one lucky caller at the end of the show today. These are a really special knife. They're completely handmade in San Diego County by the craftsmen at Anza Knives. They're a high-carbon steel. They're very easy to sharpen. They hold an incredible edge. It's a very, very impressive knife. And that's going to go to one lucky caller at the end of the show today. Again, if you want to get your chance to talk to Yanni and have that great prize, 858-457-1090 or 877-792-1090. When we come back, we're going to be taking your phone calls. Lots of great info coming your way. You stay tuned. You're listening to Southern California's sport fishing voice. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090.
Pete here to tell you about our friends Jim and Mary and their incredible crew at Poway Valley Collision. I hear it all the time. Hey, I took my car to Poway Valley Collision, and you were right. Mentioned you guys, and they gave us the VIP treatment, fixed our car, and even gave us a special price. Believe me when I say Poway Valley Collision is worth the drive from anywhere in the Southland. We know you may not need them now, but when accidents happen, it pays to go to Poway Valley Collision. And I'm not fooling. Our listeners can save hundreds of dollars on your car or truck repair. They work with most insurance companies, including Auto Club, MetLife, and Wawanesa, and more. All you do is call Jim, Mary, or any of their team members, and they do all the rest. No hassles, just top-notch work and VIP treatment. I had my car repaired at Poway Valley Collision, and the job was perfect. So get your vehicle fixed right at Poway Valley Collision, 14211 Garden Road in Poway. Check PowayValleyCollision.com.
22nd Street Landing Sport Fishing in San Pedro is home to LA's finest open party fleet, including overnights on the Freedom, Catalina Freelance on the Pursuit, half-day trips on the Monte Carlo, and three-quarter-day trips on the Native Sun. Plus, you can charter the Ultra, Spectra, and True Line. There is always plenty of free parking and a fully stocked tackle store. Take advantage of the Wednesday specials on the Pursuit and Monte Carlo, and kids fish free with a paid adult on the afternoon half-day. 22nd Street Landing Sport Fishing in San Pedro. Call 310-832-8304 or book online at 22ndstreet.com.
Hey, this is Rosie with Cedros Sport Fishing. Cedros Island is considered the yellowtail and calico bass fishing capital in the world, and nobody does it better than Cedros Sport Fishing. We are committed to providing first-class service to our guests as well as an unforgettable fishing experience. We have made a good thing even better. We now have a direct flight departing to the CBX in San Diego. Leave home in the morning and fish in the afternoon. We have a beautiful waterfront lodge with first-class accommodations and meals. What are you waiting for? Call me at 619-772-7570 or check out CedrosSportFishing.com. Book soon. Trips are going fast.
I got a garage full of fishing tackle, and every time I get out on the water, I realize I forgot something important. But I never forget my life jacket. I make sure my buddies wear theirs, too. Save the ones you love. A message from California State Parks Division of Boating and Waterways.
Here's John Ireland for Rancho Leonero.
The main emphasis on the ranch, we're going to keep it old style. We're not going to change anything. We're just going to improve what we have. The kitchen is brand new kitchen this year with all new kitchen equipment, new stoves, ovens. We put a new freezer in. We've put in all brand new split air conditioners with thermostats to make sure every room is cold. We've also worked on the boat fleet with a couple large lures, a 31 and a 34. We've got the largest Super Ponga fleet on the East Cape, all with brand new Yamaha motors. Brand new beds. We've got all Serta beds, the best beds in Baja, I kid you not. We're working all the time at the ranch. We're not changing it, just making it a lot better. That's why we get the high TripAdvisor reviews. It's my responsibility. I got to take care of you. I'll personally guarantee your best fishing experience and vacation at Rancho Leonero. RanchoLeonero.com. Our new reservation phone number is 800-646-2252, 646-BAJA.
All right. Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090, Rick, with Yanni in studio and nothing but good times.
Dude, this is so cool. One of my most favorite shows because Yanni's one of us. You know what I mean? And that's the cool thing, Corey, is it's not you're not hearing these kind of things from somebody that's chefing it up at a level that we'll never get to. Well, he is that, but he started as one of us, and so we get to talk fishing and talk fun, and this is a great show.
It's always one of my favorite for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because I love cooking. I love experimenting. I love taking that filet of yellowtail and everything from ceviche to to grilling and having fun with it. And Yanni helps.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Again, it's going to be a very busy morning. Phones are already very packed up. There's only a couple of questions left. If you want to get through, 858 area code 457-1090 or 877-792-1090. And Yanni, it's summertime. It's hot out. That's grilling season. That's what we do. You know, from charcoals to gas to Traegers to everything in between. This is the time of year that we go out and we get our fish and we throw a piece on the grill.
Oh, my God. The grill is such an important piece of equipment that we all have in our backyards. And the thing is, I want to help people with their grilling questions and problems. And I want to help people understand what they've got in their backyard, because I know what's going on. There are plenty of people out there with a grill that's been around for 20 years. There are people out there that go to Lowe's and Home Depot and go buy a grill. There are some other people out there that might spend $6,000 or $7,000 on a real expensive grill. And now with these pellet-driven grills like the Traeger, you know, that's a whole new world too. So what I really want to help people do is to go out in their backyard and look at what they've got and understand what they have and the limitations of what they have. And once they do that, then they can utilize what they have to the fullest extent. So if you guys have any questions about your backyard grill, whether it's charcoal, gas, or pellet-driven, give us a call.
Yeah,
I'll
absolutely.
help you out. I have a degree in engineering, and I love thermodynamics, and I love understanding, you know, the heat transfer, the pitfalls. I love understanding the equipment, what makes a good grill from a bad grill, and I also love to improvise. I've got a 20-year-old grill in my backyard. I'm going to use it to its fullest extent until it absolutely disintegrates, and then I'll go buy another one, right?
So you're Corey, you're myself, you have a moderate budget to go buy a grill. What are the things that we should be looking for? You know, if you're going out and you got your full 20 years out of the previous grill, and it's done, it's time to go get a new one. What are you looking for if you're going to, make that leap right now?
Okay, so you're into grilling fish and seafood. What you're really doing is you're looking for very high temperatures. You're looking for a minimum of 500-degree grill temperature. Minimum.
Okay.
And higher. Okay? And that is one of the biggest problems that we all have. Our old gas grill, our old charcoal grill, it's not able to get up to that temperature, or better yet, it's not able to keep that temperature once you've gotten that temperature. And that's all a function of the BTUs coming out of those burners on a grass grill. The construction of your barbecue. Is it made out of heavy metal? Is it really, really heavy? Is the lid heavy? Are the components heavy? The reason that I even mention that is the heavier the material, the more heat retention that material has. So you preheat your grill. If it's made out of heavy metal, it'll come up to temperature and it'll keep that temperature. Another thing about heavy metal, especially on the cover and the outside housing of your grill, is that it prevents wind from coming by and stripping off all that heat.
Oh,
now,
okay.
These are some of the pitfalls, and if you don't have the money or it's not time to go out and buy a new grill, you'd rather buy a new rod and reel, then tell me about what you've got, and I'll tell you what to look for so you can use it to its best efficiency.
And how to work with it. Because I'll tell you, Yanni, you've just... My jaws dropped with a gaping mouth, just trying to figure out how much I really don't know. Right?
Totally.
I mean, it's kind of everything you're talking about are things I've never thought about, honestly. I mean, with the thickness of the thing, and I mean, I throw charcoal. I'll tell you one of my big secrets, and I'm not that I have any secrets with cooking or anything like that, but you mentioned Smart and Final, and I purchased their mesquite charcoal, and that to me,
hip hooray, hip hooray.
That to me is like one of the biggest hurdles I've found that really helps me out,
Well, and I'll tell you what's going on is ordinary briquettes, all right, Kingsford briquettes.
Sure.
They burn at about 500 degrees, maybe 550 if you're really lucky. You throw a buttload of them in there, but lump coal, mesquite, and a whole assortment of hardwood coals.
I love cooking with it, I'm telling you.
1,000 degrees plus.
Oh, no kidding.
Okay.
1,000 degrees plus. So,
you're getting that out of the difference of
hardwood
fuel.
and right, of fuel. And why is that important to us? I'll tell you why that's important to us. Because when we're cooking fish, first of all, not only do we want a juicy, tasty piece of fish, and we're going to get that because it's fresh, But we want beautiful color on that fish. We all eat with our eyes. I talk about that all the time. So we want char marks on that fish, on that fillet. We want beautiful color. We want maybe if it's got skin, we want a nice crispy, crunchy skin. You're not going to get that unless you're burning with really, really hot temperatures. Because when you put that slab of fish on there and you've got high temperatures, it's going to cook the outside of the fish. You flip it over a couple minutes later, it's going to cook the other side of the fish, and then the middle of the fish will be exactly going opaque, which means that it's cooked as well. If you're cooking with too low of temperatures, you're going to sit there intuitively and you're going to wait until you get color on one side of the fish or the other. You're going to flip it, you're going to look at it, you go, oh, it's not got the right color, it doesn't have the right color. And by the time it gets the right color, the whole thing is well done.
Okay, so you're achieving this with the mesquite lump coal instead of the little square things you might purchase and light up, right?
Right, because the mesquite burns much hotter. And the same with a gas grill. You want a gas grill that puts out a bunch of BTUs, between 12,000 and 17,000 BTUs per burner. That's the way you do it if you want to get super high temperatures. And that's what you really want to achieve if you want to get a nice succulent piece of fish that's got a nice crust on the outside and color.
That's awesome. Well, as you can
Rick,
hear,
they are packed, man.
As you can hear, we got so much great info. Before we jump into the callers, we're going to go north all the way up to Alaska because Pete is on the line right now, again, enjoying a fantastic trip at our Whalers Cove Lodge. Let's Talk Hookup trip. Good morning, Pete.
Hey, good morning, Rick. Good morning, Corey. Good morning, Yanni. How's everything in the studio?
Oh, we're having such a good time. I mean, I know that you're in one of the most fantastic places, but man, as you can hear, we have Yanni on here. This was not a good guest to miss, Pete. This is a good one.
No, I know. I'm sorry to miss Yanni, but I just love hearing him and talking about cooking fish and stuff like that. And the good news is we have a lot of fish to cook when I get home from Whalers Cove Lodge. I mean, what a fantastic week we had. First of all, the weather was the most epic weather ever in Alaska. Right now, I'm looking at the sunshine. It's going to be 70, 72 degrees today. We had a little bit of rain night before last, but it stopped before anybody got up. And yesterday was so flat, it was like a mirror all day on the ocean and outside of Whalers Cove here. It was fantastic. And all week, we had like no wind and just perfect conditions and great tides and just absolutely spectacular weather, which is kind of typical for Whalers Cove. It's, Angoon, Alaska gets way less rain. I think they get, like a fraction of the rain that you'll find in Sitka and Juneau, which is surrounding. It's kind of like a microclimate here. That's one of the huge attractions to Whalers Cove is this climate. But let's get to the fishing. We had very, very, very good fishing on everything but salmon. Salmon fishing was, as we expected, very slow. We did get limits a couple days for most of the boats, which is not a small number when you're looking at Cove. It's 6 per person. To get limits, it's 24 fish in a day. So we spent a lot of time fishing other stuff, but one day we did get 20. And then other days we got a dozen and 15. And yesterday we saw the writing on the wall and only spent about a half an hour fishing salmon. It just wasn't – the salmon were kind of down yesterday because they had the night before they had rain and they must have moved up into the river and they were kind of absent. But we didn't fish for salmon long enough to really catch any, so we didn't catch any salmon yesterday. But all the other days we had plenty of salmon. Still, that means that I'm still bringing home 2 50-pound boxes of perfect filleted fish.
Nice.
Because we had unbelievable halibut fishing. I mean, the slot limit up here in southeast Alaska is 38 inches or less, which is about a 30 to 40-pound halibut, depending on how fat they are. And every day we had our slot limit less than an hour. We'd do that first. And we'd catch 20. And I think one day we had 30. We had 20 halibut to go through and get our, no, that one's too small, throw it back. Oh, that one's too small, throw it back. Okay, we'll keep that one. But it was just nonstop action. And, Corey, your MC slug throw is the most spectacular jig I've ever used in my life in Alaska.
Oh, that's cool.
It is, without a doubt, a game changer up here. If you're coming to Alaska and you like fishing the jig, if you don't take the MC glowing it up, you better start pouring, dude. Because I'm telling you, that jig is unbelievable. Because I caught almost everything on that MC slug. It was fantastic and really, really a great time. But anyway, so we got our limits of halibut like instantaneously. We went and fished salmon, or we'd go fish lingcod. We spent a lot of time fishing lings because the lingcod fishing is kind of the hidden secret here at Whalers Cove Lodge. There's a lot of big halibut and a lot of giant lings here at Whalers Cove. But I'm telling you, the lingcod fishing, I had like the career of all career times lingcod fishing. I had a lot of lings, but and it's a narrow slot. It's 30 to 35 inches. I only, out of the 25 lingcod I caught, that we only kept one that was in that slot. Hard to find a slot. But I had a 43-inch fish. Oh. I had a 44-inch fish. I had a 47-inch fish, and I had what they're calling is one of the biggest they've ever seen at the lodge, a 50-inch fish. It was like close to 60 pounds.
Wow. No way, Pete. That's awesome.
And every single one on that slug with a 16-ounce lead head.
Wow.
I mean, I am telling you, the lingcod fishing was just amazing. And then, of course, we had the yellow eye rockfish fishing. It was like epic all time. Of course, you can only keep one a year, but we caught probably 40 yellow eye just as incidental catches, and all of them are just giant.
That is so cool.
Yeah, and lots of assorted rockfish and stuff like that. And all of this is in flat, calm weather. I mean, it's just like, wow, look at this weather. It's amazing. And in fact, Betsy here in the office was telling us this morning, it was so clear last night. It's bright and sunny and clear this morning here. She saw the northern lights last night at 11 o'clock. Of course, we were all
done. No way, cool.
But the northern lights were in full swing last night. And so I'm hoping tonight when I get back to Juneau that because it's supposed to be beautiful here for the next couple days, I'm hoping that they're still going to be around because the weather's supposed to stay nice for the next couple days. It's supposed to be 75 degrees on Monday in Juneau, so can you imagine that?
How cool, Pete.
It is crazy. But anyway, Whalers Cove Lodge, they have done, Mark and Christine Powers and their staff here have done an amazing job with this place. Even in the year that you spent here, Ricky, they built several new cabins that are absolute luxury cabins. The one they put me in that stayed in had its own fireplace, a little sitting area.
Oh, cool.
It's on the water with its own deck, and beautiful. The accommodations are beyond amazing here. The fishing boats, we fished on one of their brand new boats that have their own manufacturing plant that they're manufacturing up in Montana. These beautiful 32-foot aluminum boats. Super comfortable, super roomy for 4 people. It's like you can dance on it. It's so big. And we fished with Captain Ethan, who's just a fantastic seasoned captain. But all of their captains, of course, Captain John, you'll hear from later. You know, John's a fantastic captain, and all the captains here are amazing. All the boats are amazing. You want to kayak fishing? They have a whole fleet of pro anglers here that you can go kayak fishing on and catch halibut
in
and
flat, calm weather.
Like that. In flat, calm weather, yeah, it's unreal. But so I'm telling you, this place is Alaska's fishing paradise. That's what they call it, and you know this year was a very much an anomaly for salmon fishing, as we saw in Sitka, all throughout Southeast Alaska. Yeah. The salmon fishing it's been very slow. But next year they're talking about, well, usually what happens after a slow season is it's like record numbers in the following year. So I would be ready. And I forgot to say, there was still a lot of salmon up in the river, up in Hasselborg, which I think you and Dallas got to do that, going up in the rivers there and catching silver salmon in the rivers. But there were still a lot of fish that were kind of landlocked there, and they were kind of trapped because there wasn't enough water because of the drought coming down that they haven't been able to move up. So you could go up and target all the silver salmon in the river on the fly rod or the spin rod that you wanted, too. So that was another option that a lot of our guests did, too. So, but Gus from Burbank, I should mention, Gus from Burbank fished with us, with Rich Top and my brother-in-law, John, next door us. And Gus had a 40 5 and a 46-inch ling.
Good Lord, you guys really killed it.
And I did share the MCs with him, so he caught him on his yeah.
Oh, man.
But and then Rich Top had a nice, like, 65, 70-pound halibut. The winning halibut that won the 2-for-1 that they do ever was a 71-inch, 210-pound halibut. That one, a 2-for-1. They give the largest halibut of the week. They always give a 2-for-1. You buy one, you get one, which is like that's like a $4,000 prize, which is a pretty nice prize.
And they do that every week.
Yeah, every week. Yeah. So Whalers Cove. I just can't say enough great things. And then fish processing is, Mike at the fish processing is just an amazing guy and does anything and everything you want for you. Of course, I'm headed from here tomorrow. We're headed to Juneau on the ferry today. I'm headed to Ketchikan to meet Rick Jensen from Sport Fishing Financial and his buddy to go fishing for, I don't know what we're going to do down there, crabs, shrimps, maybe some halibut lingcod for a few days. And then north up to Anchorage to Katmai Lodge. So I am here for quite some time in Alaska, and I'll tell you, there's nothing like Alaska. If you haven't been to Alaska, if you want to come to a fantastic place, Whalers Cove Lodge. Our trip next year is August 13th through 17th, our 4-day trip. It's already filling up because most of the people got Dr. and Mrs. Blum came, and they're coming back next year. Rich Top's coming back. I'm going to bring my wife Lolly next year. It's really a great place to come by yourself, to come with your significant other, or just a group. You know, because it's a great family atmosphere here, and just a beautiful place and fantastic. So check WhalersCoveLodge.com. I'll have it up on our website very, very soon, but I wouldn't wait for that, because if you want to get in next year, our dates always fill up very, very quickly, and because they're prime time. WhalersCoveLodge.com. Check it out and book this trip. It is the trip of a lifetime that you'll probably want to come back again and again and again.
Pete, after fishing like that, and then this great trip with Rick, and then up to Katmai, you got to promise Corey and I that you're planning on coming back. I mean, you have that many good trips back to back to back. I don't know if we're going to be able to get you out of that state and back home again.
Well, hey, believe me, I'm a sunshine guy, so once it starts getting dark up here, I'm out of here.
All right, buddy. Well, I mean, what a report. You had us all just jaw-dropped hearing about that, and a 60-pound lingcod. I can't get over it. And I got to say, I agree with you, man. A lure that Corey made for catching calico bass, without question, is the single greatest lure to fish in Alaska, that slug. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, it is amazing. And I told our guide, Ethan, I said, these are made to fish calico bass. And he was like, really?
The best ever.
He was like, God, I wish I could get a hold of some of those things. Yeah, they tell you what, that big halibut and rockfish and the lingcod. Oh, boy.
Pete, that was an awesome trip and an even better report, man. We sure appreciate that. And keep us in touch, man. We want to hear from you again next weekend, and we'll get the wrap-up of your great times with Rick, and can't wait to hear about Katmai and everything in between. Man, have a great trip, and we really appreciate you taking the time to fill us all in.
All right, guys. Well, have a great show. Yanni, thanks for being there. Corey, yourself, just very excited to talk to you next week and see what the next adventure up here in Alaska.
Can't wait, Pete. The lines have been packed for Yanni, and can't wait for you to come back with a bounty.
All right, thanks. Very good.
All right, be
guys.
safe,
Hey,
Pete.
Thanks for covering for me, and I'll talk to you next Saturday.
All right, Pete, thanks a lot with that. Well, from all the way up north, we're going all the way down south. We're going to talk to the cast man, Richard Castaneda from Cast Tours. Today, the Catch Report sponsored by Fish Pros at Fisherman's Processing in San Diego. Not only do they offer the best processing for your trip for your fish when your trip returns to the San Diego landings, now with Fish Pros The Market, you can purchase fresh fish, smoked and jerky fish, and their famous tuna burgers at their convenient Liberty Station location. Fish Pros have also become famous for their line of smoked spices, rubs, and salts, as well as their smoked cheese. Pick up some at their Liberty Station location. Stop by and taste it. You will be hooked. And, Corey, let's talk to the cast man, Richard Castaneda from Cast Tours. Buenos dias, cast man.
Buenos dias, boys. Hey, Ricky, I'm a little bit upset. You know, you think about this. You and I go on these trips. They put us in the shed with a couple of bunks.
Out back.
Pete goes. He's ocean front. Fireplace, kicking back. There's something wrong here.
Cass, I'm glad you caught that too, buddy. I caught the same thing. I'm telling you, we gotta develop a union.
Exactly. And one more thing. Tell them to quit calling in on my time.
Oh, my God.
That's the deal, Cass.
All right, before I begin, I just want to tell Yanni, I tried that fettuccine Alfredo recipe he sent out the week before last.
Oh, boy.
I'm telling you, it was awesome.
Oh, really?
That sauce. I've made Alfredo before, but that sauce that you had on that recipe was fabulous. And I recommend anybody that wants to try a really good recipe for Alfredo sauce, that was the sauce of sauces. It was fabulous. I didn't use halibut because I'm a little low right now, but I did use those big jumbo scallops and shrimp, and it was fabulous.
Yeah, that's speaking my language.
God. Now
it's really good. Keep sending me those recipes.
Is that one, Yanni, is that a recipe that's up on your site right now?
Oh, yeah, you bet.
At Fisherman's Belly.
Yeah, under the halibuts and most recent recipes. Yeah.
There it is.
Oh, thanks for enjoying that recipe. I'm glad you loved it. Thanks.
I'm telling you, just keep sending them. I'll tell you, you send them to me every week, and I said that one there was outstanding. But anyway,
good call, Cass.
Wow.
All right, we'll get on with the report. Start with Loretto there. Good Dorado fishing there up there. They had a governor's tournament there for the southern part of Baja, and 42 and a 41.5 took first and second in the Bull Dorado category. And, of course, there's still yellowtail around. Most of those local spots there, Punta Popito, Punta Almeja, San Bruno, Isla Coronado, and Punta Lobos doing pretty well on the yellowtail. So some good fishing there. Get down into La Paz, the East Cape, and San Jose del Cabo. Great tuna fishing going on. Cerralvo Island there producing some nice big tuna up to 60, 70, 80 pounds. Same thing down in the San Jose area there, up around Iman Bank, San Luis Bank. Some really nice tuna, great tuna there. Some fish both areas they're losing some big fish. Guys just aren't equipped with the right kind of line and leader material to handle these big fish, and they're taking quite a bit of time and busting a lot of big fish up. And I'm saying big fish over 100 pounds. The Dorado bite has been kind of slow in that area, but billfish bite has picked up pretty good. Not only on blues, but they're starting to get some black marlin in there, and along with the stripers, so some good action there. Of course, along the beaches, all the way from La Paz all the way down to San Jose del Cabo and Cabo San Lucas, they're doing real well on those big roosters, 50, 60, 70-pound roosters. And the Cabo fleet has been fishing kind of around the Pacific side and a little bit toward the Sea of Cortez side, but they're doing real well too on the billfish there, and they're getting a better Dorado bite than up in the Sea of Cortez. So some really good fishing going on. Bait situation, really good. All areas. Up in the Loretto area, you got the big eyes and the big eye shad and the mackerel. And then, of course, down in the southern part, you've got the good sardinas. Lots of sardinas right now. And before I hang up, Marty, I'm going up to Angara Island in Canada. I need some of those slugs because I want to catch some big lings and some halibut. So,
oh no, Corey, I think you're being put out, man. You better get that slug pouring.
Oh, that's good times. No, that's good stuff, Cass, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, anybody wants to book a trip into southern Baja, mainland Mexico, all the way down to Central America. Also, our Let's Talk Hookup Loretto Rumble in May 19 to 23. Still got some openings there. Give me a call at Cast Tours at 800-593-6510 or on the web at www.casttours.com, and I'll talk to you boys next Saturday.
Well, good stuff, Cass. We appreciate you being on the show, and always a great report, Cass.
Thanks, Corey.
Slugs are coming.
Thank you, Cass.
All right. Well, that concludes our report, Rick, and we're going to be right back on Let's Talk Hookup. More from Yanni, some exciting stuff. I want to learn more about grilling. And if you want to give us a call, 877-792-1090, 858-457-1090. The line's been packed. They're all packed, but when we come back, we're going to take your calls, more fish reports on Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090.
Love it. Rock Cod Rick here for West Coast Marine and Parker Boats. You see them all over Southern California waters. Parker Boats at the launch ramp, the offshore islands. You wake up in the morning on an overnight trip and there they are. Parker Boats of all size fishing in the same area as the sporties. There's a good reason for it. Fishability and seaworthiness. Of all the boats out there, my boat partner and I chose to get a brand new 25 Parker center console from Kevin Kelly and the gang at West Coast Marine, and I could not be happier. Wow, what a fishing machine. Parker Marine builds a heavy-duty, industrial-strength boat, probably overbuilt. But that's why so many 4- and 6-pack charters choose to operate Parkers. We thank the guys at Pinnacle Sport Fishing, Season Sport Fishing, One-Man Charters, Black and Blue Sport Fishing for their confidence in Parker boats. Take it from me, if you are ready for a new Parker at a fair, upfront, and honest deal, you need to see Kevin Kelly at West Coast Marine, located at 1555 Newport Boulevard in Costa Mesa, or check out their inventory and information at westcoastmarine.com.
This is Captain Mark Rayer for Genren Sport Fishing. Located on the Sea of Cortez, we will show you a fishing experience that will exceed your expectations. Genren boats are outfitted with all accurate reels from the smallest Valiant 300 to the beefy ATDs. Simrad electronics, Fraser gyro binoculars, and cruise with a passion to fish is just part of what makes us number one. Also, Cabo Yachts Vaquera has a Seakeeper for your comfort. For 2 live webcams and up-to-date fish report, accommodation packages, check out TeamGenRen.com. We pick up at Rancho Leonero and all East Cape locations, so let's go fishing.
It's time to get excited about fishing, and Point Loma Sport Fishing has everything you'll need. They offer half-day and 3/4-day trips daily, perfect for families and the novice or seasoned fishermen. Point Loma Sport Fishing also offers overnight to multi-day trips, targeting the best of seasonal catches. Visit their website at pointlomasportfishing.com, where you can purchase tickets online and get more information on the trips available, or call 619-223-1627.
The Yamaha Outboard Summer Power Sales Event is here. Until the end of August, eligible new select 90 to 200 horsepower 4-cylinder 4-strokes include 2 free years of Yamaha Extended Service. And eligible new 2.5 to 75 horsepower 4-strokes include up to $500 in dealer credit. Reliability starts here. Yamaha. Visit your local Yamaha Outboards dealer today. Offer ends August 31, 2018, subject to change at any time. Other restrictions and conditions apply. See authorized participating Yamaha outboard dealers for details. This promotion cannot be used with any other Yamaha offer.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. And, man, I love this show, Rick. On the other end, I love listening to it.
I know. I'm the same. It's so much fun, and there's so much cool stuff to cover with Yanni from everything from the cooking part of it to your equipment. I'm the same. Like I always feel like I've learned so much when I come away from this 2 hours. It's crazy how much there is to it. And we're all so into the fishing side of things, and that's when you break it down, this is one of, if not the single biggest component for the reason that we do it, is so that we can cook it afterwards. And we're all very good at researching and stepping our game up from fluorocarbon to the latest MC swim baits, but the prize is that killer piece of fish at the end of it.
And you know what? That's why I have so much faith in the fishing community in terms of being able to learn how to cook. Because if you're a good fisherman, if you've been fishing for a long time, you have stepped up your game. You have learned from your friends. You've learned from the captains on the boats. You've stepped up your game. Well, it's time to step up your game in the kitchen, and I know you guys can do it. If you've got the brains to use fluorocarbon, then you've got the brains to know what kind of skillet you need, at what temperatures you should cook your fish, how to keep everyone safe and happy in terms of sanitation. You've got the brains to do it. Just a little bit of practice, a little bit of effort, and the right attitude, and you'll be better cooks than me.
I like it, Yanni, and there's a lot of people lined up waiting just for this info.
I agree, Corey. Let's jump into the phones.
Let's do it. And doing so, we're going to talk to Mark. Mark's calling from Santee. Good morning. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup, Mark.
Hey, good morning. How you guys doing today?
Good morning, Mark.
Hey, I got a question. When I cook my fish on the grill, I wrap it in tin foil.
Okay.
Should I wrap it in tin foil, or should I just put it on the grill?
Okay. So, here are the basics, and I've thought about this, and that's a great question because a lot of people like to cook with tinfoil, especially if you're going out camping or if you're at home and you don't want to really spend the time of cleaning your grill, or if you've had bad experience and your fish sticks to the grill, you cook it and you try to pick it up, it all falls apart. So, but here's what's happening. When you put it in tinfoil and then you close up the tinfoil, you're actually steaming it in a packet, okay? And what you're doing is you're not really allowing any of the flavors of the grill to penetrate that meat. What I do, there's a couple things I do. I'll either, halfway through the process, I'll put holes in the tinfoil packet to allow some of the smoke to go in there, and that is if you've got a grill with a lid on it, all right? So you've got to close the lid and get that smoke to actually push its way into those holes in the tinfoil, or halfway through the cooking process, open up that tinfoil packet on the top, close the lid and let the smoke penetrate and get into that fish so that you can say, yeah, I cooked it in a tinfoil packet. It's steamy. It's not overcooked. It's wonderful, but I still get the essence of that smoky flavor that can get pushed into there from the grill.
Well, Yanni, couldn't you use the aluminum foil? I mean, I'm just thinking off the cuff here. Couldn't you use the aluminum foil just as a boat to contain the sauce or whatever you're cooking it with, to leave it open, create a boat, like leave the aluminum foil open?
Absolutely.
So
But
you get
people
the best of both worlds.
Yeah, people tend to close up their foil packets. If you just leave it open, absolutely, you'll get that smoke penetrating in there. But you can add some wine or some olive oil, some lemon juice in that tinfoil packet. And, it'll steam and get some smoky flavor at the same time. So that's just one of the wonderful things you can do with tinfoil. But don't just keep that tinfoil locked up and then put it on your grill and then take it off the grill. You won't get any of the smoke that'll penetrate and give you that additional level of flavor.
Wow. That's a great answer. That answered up for you, Mark?
Yeah, it did. Thanks.
Appreciate
All right,
it
Mark,
much.
thanks for the call.
All right, and I think we need to jump right back into it, Rick. We've had some very patient callers, and Chuck Holmes from Dana Point. Good morning. Welcome. Let's Talk Hookup.
Morning, guys.
What's up, Chuck?
Hey, Chuck.
Hey, I use my regular gas grill as a smoker. That boat thing you just came up with, I use that as my wood holder. And I use wet and dry.
Okay.
And I don't do too big of wood like apple and then mix maybe with some hickory.
Right.
But then on the other side, a cold side, I put my bonita with brown sugar and soy sauce, a little garlic, and a little bit of, on one side I do the chili flakes because I like the sweet hot.
Ooh.
People don't know what it is. I bring it out to the boat. What is that? And, the thing about the tail poke I learned from you last week, because I always cut my throats on the bonita and you get twice as much meat. It wasn't acceptable, say, 15 years ago to cut your throats. It was extra work on the deck for the kids with the blood. But now you see the deckhands bleeding almost every fish now. So I think that's come a long way.
Absolutely.
But use your smoke. Yeah, go ahead.
Just briefly about the blood. Absolutely. The reason that it's so smart to bleed your fish is that if you bring your fish home and you want to keep it fresh in the refrigerator for 3 or 4 days before you cook it, that blood, if it's still in the meat of the fish, it'll start decomposing much quicker than the muscle of the fish.
It contains the bacteria.
It contains, everything contains bacteria. Yeah. But that bacteria will flourish in the blood and start the decompositioning process much quicker than you want, and your fish will go bad a lot quicker. So bleeding the fish is a super idea. And in terms of the wood chips, you're absolutely right. It's a little tricky on wood chips. You can't take wood chips and just throw wood chips on your charcoal or on your open flames, because the last thing you want is the wood chips to actually catch on fire and to give you smoke. That smoke is carcinogenic.
Oh, okay.
Okay? That's why you always hear about people wetting or soaking their wood chips, all right? And what that does is it makes them smolder, and it prevents them from catching on fire. And that smoldering smoke, that's healthy, and it's got plenty of flavor. But once those wood chips catch on fire and give you smoke, that smoke is very bad. So wrapping up, one of the ways you can prevent that is by soaking your wood chips in water or wine or whatever liquid you want, or wrapping your wood chips in tin foil and poking some holes in that tin foil and then putting that on the fire. And what that does is it restricts the amount of oxygen that gets to those wood chips.
Okay.
Keeps some moisture.
You can do it with dry wood chips.
Oh, okay.
You can do it with dry wood chips.
Because there's not going to be the oxygen to allow
There isn't going to be the oxygen to allow them to catch fire.
I love this.
That's great info.
That's the key.
I love this, man. We're learning so much, Rick.
And always lid down when you're barbecuing?
Well, yes and no. When you put your lid down, all of a sudden you're turning your barbecue into an oven.
Okay.
So you're pumping more heat into that piece of meat, especially if you've got a nice thick piece of meat. I would definitely put the lid down. And another thing that the lid does is if you're promoting smoke and you want smoke to penetrate that meat, put the lid down. You want that smoke to penetrate your meat.
And Yanni, you mentioned Traeger grills. You mentioned that kind of thing, the pellet type of stove. And
sure.
That's not really like grilling, is it? I mean, it's almost smoking, isn't it? I mean, I'm asking you because I'm kind of lame in the whole thing.
Yeah, no. What's really cool about the Traeger grills and those kind of pellet-driven grills is that initially they were designed to be smokers. And smoking, it always happens at a much lower temperature, around 200 to 250 degrees. But now they've advanced and they're promoting those grills as being more versatile, and you can use them as a grill. So what they've done is they can still use the pellet drives and drive those temperatures up to 500, 550.
Oh, okay. I get it.
Grilling, that's the bare minimum for grilling, remember?
Okay.
500 is the bare minimum. But those pellet-driven grills will get up to 500 degrees now. So you can have that smoke getting introduced and high heat, so you'll get the best of both worlds.
Okay,
Dallas,
see? We're learning.
Dallas got me one of those Traegers for my birthday, and that is all we cook on.
Now I know where the party's going to be.
Yeah. We love it. It's just, like you said, it's a great introduction of flavor to something that was, it's very easy and very easy to keep temperature, but introducing that smoky flavor that we just weren't getting before cooking on our gas grill.
That's right. And speaking of smoky flavors, wood chips are not the only source of smoky flavors.
Okay.
Your charcoal, or even your gas grill, if you've got a packet of wood chips in there. That's not the only source. One of the biggest sources of smoky flavors is baste. Okay? Baste. So basting is different than marinating. Marinating is what we do to our fish to prepare it before we put it on the grill. As your fish is on the grill, we constantly baste. And what that does is it introduces moisture to the fish on its base level. Okay, keeps it nice and moist. But the excess base drips off the fish down to the burners, whether they're coal or gas, and then turns into smoke and comes back up and reflavorizes that fish.
You're almost infusing it. I know exactly what you're talking about. I mean, I've done it without not even knowing it, really, to be honest with you.
Exactly, sure. And the smart thing to do is once you baste, close the lid, and all that smoke that comes up, contains it and punches it with more flavor.
I love this, Rick.
That's what it's all about.
We're learning. Chuck, are you learning?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, want to remind you, upcoming fun event, our final San Diego County Ford Dealers live remote broadcast is Saturday, September the 1st at El Cajon Ford. It's your next chance to qualify for the two big grand prizes, either by random draw or by winning the Shimano casting contest. Prize number 1 is a Hobie Mirage Drive kayak from Fast Lane Kayaks in Mission Bay, along with a trip to Cedros kayak fishing on Cedros Island. That's just one prize. The next grand prize, number 2, it's a 4-night fishing package for 2 at Rancho Leonero in Baja's East Cape. It is including round-trip tickets from San Diego to Los Cabos on Alaska Airlines. Be sure to check the Alaska Air banner on the front page of letstalkhookup.com. I believe, too, that those airfare tickets are not just San Diego. It's San Diego, Orange County, or LAX. Your choice. Whatever is easier, we're flying you to and from. You can also win a trip on the Blackjack, your own charter, courtesy of Dana Landing in Mission Bay. We're giving away Shimano rods and reels and Maui Jim sunglasses. There's going to be a ton of giveaways, too, just for showing up. Check the guest page at letstalkhookup.com for rules and details, and you can see them when your trip return. You can see them on Saturday, September the 1st. Again, it's at El Cajon Ford at Broadway and Main in El Cajon. It's our last event. It's always a really fun one. There's a lot of people. El Cajon Ford always lays out the red carpet for us. Tons of prizes, tons of fun, and it's going to be a great time.
Rick, when we come back from break, I can't wait. We have more from Yanni. I mean, the lines have been absolutely packed. I'm going to give you the numbers, but you got to wait till somebody hangs up. 877-792-1090, 858-457-1090. More from Yanni, more from your calls, more fish reports on Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090.
Fisherman's Landing is the top choice in local and long-range fishing. Hi, this is Doug Kern. Our hardworking crew is always looking for ways to improve your fishing experience. We offer the finest open party trips from 1 to 3 days, the best charter boats available, and of course, our world-renowned long-range fleet is second to none. We are proud to say Fisherman's Landing is now a full-service sport fishing operation, offering half-day trips on the Dolphin, and now, for the first time in the long history of Fisherman's Landing, we have 3/4-day open party trips on the Liberty. We built the Liberty specifically to offer a better experience. Run by veteran captain Taro Takeuchi, the 85-foot Liberty is the first open party 3/4-day boat to offer bunks for your comfort. She also has huge bait capacity and RSW fish holds to keep your catch fresh. Plus, Liberty has a big galley and 2 interior heads with showers. Our open party trips from half-day, 3/4-day, or 1 to 3 day trips can be easily booked online at fishermanslanding.com or give us a call at 619-221-8500. I'll see you at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego.
Hey, it's time for the 30-second Power Pro Seminar. Here's the hot tip for those of us that like to fish with small reels for big fish. Fill your spools with Power Pro Max Quattro. It's 25% thinner than standard Power Pro. That means you're going to get more line on that small reel. Plus, you can fly line your bait more effectively. Here's another tip about Power Pro Max Quattro. Your casting distance will increase in addition to increasing your spool capacity. So downsize your tackle and use Power Pro Max Quattro. Check PowerPro.com for more information.
A few years ago, Shimano introduced the Tranx 500 reel, and it changed the way we cast for big fish. Now, by popular demand, Shimano has created 2 new sizes. Introducing the Tranx 300 and 400, available now at your local Shimano dealer. Tranx is the dream reel for throwing big baits and catching big fish. X-Ship and HEG technologies combine to provide massive cranking power with a smooth, effortless retrieve. Plus, Shimano's new Core Protect water-resistant technology provides long-lasting durability in the harshest environment. The new Tranx 300 and 400 are available in 2 gear ratios and 2 different handle designs to cover all fresh and saltwater applications. See the new Tranx 300 and 400 at your local Shimano dealer. Tranx, it's not just a new reel, it's a way to fish. Check Shimano.com for all the details.
It's summertime in San Diego, and that means a couple of things. The getting is good for yellowfin and bluefin off our Southern California coast. A road trip to bag some high Sierra trout sounds like a great weekend. And the Ford Summer Sales Event has started at your San Diego County Ford dealers. In fishing, we love to get away, and we love to have the best gear. And right now is the perfect time to upgrade to a brand new Ford truck or SUV. The absolute best piece of fishing gear you could have. During the summer sales event, your San Diego County Ford dealers have great offers on a wide variety of trucks and SUVs, including great financing and cashback offers on some of the most popular models. They've got deals across their lineup to get you into the perfect size SUV for you. And they've got deals on F-150, Motor Trend's 2018 Truck of the Year. Great payload and towing capabilities make it the perfect piece of tackle. Learn more at BuyFordNow.com or visit your San Diego County Ford dealers today. They'll be glad to hook you up.
Sport fishing, not just for dad anymore. At Dana Wharf Sport Fishing, kids fish free every Sunday. Free half-day fishing trip and clinic free for kids 12 and under every Sunday at Dana Wharf. Join the Dana Wharf Kids Club and get over $100 of really cool stuff like 2 free fishing trips, a free whale watch trip, and more. Dana Wharf, everyone's favorite since 1971. Click DanaWharf.com or visit them in the Dana Point Harbor, the bass capital of the West, and only minutes from the 5 freeway in Orange County. DanaWharf.com, where kids fish free.
When it comes to fishing rods for saltwater, there's just one name you need to know: CalStar. Take, for example, the Graphiter series. It's a true graphite and fiberglass composite rod, the finest it's ever been built. And for anglers seeking traditional performance, durability, and quality at an affordable price, the CalStar West Coast series of rods and blanks are the ones for you. Their master craftsmen bring decades of rod building experience to every rod they make. So if you want your fishing rods to be truly state-of-the-art, I always recommend CalStar at fine tackle stores everywhere.